This video shows you step-by-step how to use the IPS e.max Shade Navigation app on your iOS or Android device. First, download and open the IPS e.max Shade Navigation app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Before you start using the app, please read first the manual for the IPS e.max Shade Navigation app. You can find it in the S&A menu under Manual. Start the configuration. Basically, this can be done at any point. When the app starts, point 1 is automatically activated. Depending on which point you start with, the selection of the next point can be influenced by dependencies. This may result in restrictions in terms of layer thickness, indication, and material. Restrictions are displayed with a grey background and cannot be selected. Go to Reset if you want to discard all entries. Point 1. Enter the tooth shade. Swipe left or right in the parameter bar with your finger and select the desired tooth shade. It is important that you determine the tooth shade after tooth cleaning on the non-prepared tooth or on the neighbouring teeth with the help of an A to D shade guide. In order to achieve the most lifelike results, the shade is ideally determined in daylight. For a reliable shade match, you can, for example, use the DSA function of the new Programmat furnaces. Point 2. Enter the indication. Select the appropriate indication. Not all indications are listed in the app. To nonetheless achieve a suitable result, please use the alternative indications given in the user manual. Point 3. Enter the dye shade. Swipe left or right in the parameter bar with your finger to select the dye shade. Select the desired shade. Determine the dye shade with the IPS Natural Dye Material Shade Guide on the most discolored area of the tooth stump. If you are undecided between two shades, always choose the darker one. If a metal core buildup is used, it's advisable to select the darkest dye shade, ND9. For zirconium oxide abutments, select the brightest dye shade, ND1. Point 4. Enter the layer thickness. Swipe left or right in the parameter bar with your finger to select the layer thickness of the restoration. Then select the desired layer thickness. You can determine the layer thickness either manually with calipers or digitally with the CAD software. Crowns, veneers, and copings are measured centrally at the thinnest vestibular point. For inlays and onlays, measure the thinnest part in the occlusal area. Point 5. Enter the material. Select the desired material. If a field is shown with a grey background during material selection, the material is not suitable for the respective indication or layer thickness. In this case, check and change your entries. In order to generate the result, confirm your entries after completing the configuration. Depending on your configuration, you will receive 1 or 2 recommendations in the result bar. These are displayed in the result window next to First Choice and Second Choice. The Preview window allows you to obtain a virtual representation of the results. Go to the result bar and tap on the result that you want to see to display it in the Preview window. To compare the shades, go to the A to D Shade tab. Hold the Shade tab down and move it over the result. Depending on the indication, the result will be displayed as an interior crown or shade tab. Go to Free Choice to select your own result. This option is useful, for example, if you do not have the recommended translucency and shade in stock, or if you are looking for a joint result that applies to several restorations. The list only shows the levels of translucency recommended for the selected indication. The recommendations of Ivoclar Vivident are highlighted. Under the menu item View Mode Settings, you can make various display adjustments in the result window. For instance, to show and hide the gingiva, select the gingiva button next to the gingiva icon. To change the transparency of the tooth, move the slider to the desired position. In this way, you can assess the shade and geometry of the tooth stump. You can also change the background color. Go to the color that you want and select it. Bear in mind that the background color has a decisive influence on the way you perceive the shade. Open the information window via the info icon to display or change the parameters entered for the respective configuration. On your Android device, go to the Edit icon and then to Info. To rename a configuration, go to the assigned letter and change it as you like it, for instance, to Upper Right 1. To edit a configuration, tap Edit in the upper right corner and then tap Edit again in the configuration that you want to change. Alternatively, swipe down the configuration that you want to change and then go to Edit. On your Android device, go to the Edit icon on the configuration that you want to change and then tap Edit. Direct access is also possible via the information window. Activate the points that you want to edit and change your entries. Then tap Generate Result to confirm the changes. To add a configuration, tap Add in the result window. Then select the appropriate parameters. You can display up to 4 configurations at the same time. This is especially useful if several teeth that feature different indications and die shades are restored, for instance, in the anterior region. To copy a configuration, go to Edit and then Copy. On your Android device, go to the Edit icon on the respective configuration and then tap Copy. Now you can display different results of a configuration side by side or directly observe the effect when you change certain parameters. To change the position of a configuration, hold it down and move it to the left or right. To delete a configuration, select Delete on the configuration that you want to delete. On your Android device, go to the Edit icon on the respective configuration and then tap Delete. Select the printer icon to generate the result log. You have the option of printing out the log or saving it as a PDF file. This facilitates the communication about shades and provides an additional measure of reliability. Share your results via WhatsApp, Facebook, or send it via email. At the end, tap the rubbish bin icon and confirm. This way you reset all configuration parameters to the default value. IPS e.max Shade Navigation app, so shade and translucency always match.